Oh hey, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. How are you tonight? I haven't done a video in a long time, and I decided that I need to start doing videos. Now, this is not going to be a video about books or the book publishing industry, but I will be doing a lot of videos on my chosen field of profession. But before I do that, I really need to bring you up to speed on how things have been going with my whole medical background and what's been happening. On the cancer front, my PSA has dropped to 0.01, and that's pretty fantastic. That's like imperceptible. And the funny thing is, people have told me 0.01. They're in the normal range, and they don't even have a 0.01. But I still have cancer, and I asked the doctor, am I going into remission? Am I possibly going into remission? And the doctor told me, well, your cancer is under control. And I was like, you know what? I'll go with that. Under control is good. After a 3-year battle so far, under control is where I can be. So I'm still getting the testosterone blocker shots every 3 months. I have to go next week and get another one. I also have to go and give a blood sample and have my PSA checked, and we'll see if it continues to go down. But that's what's happening with the cancer, the prostate cancer front. On the transplant front, one of the things that I was amazed at is that the transplant team down at Porter Adventist down in Denver told me that prostate cancer is not one of the cancers that they're really concerned about when I have to take all of the anti-rejection drugs when I get my kidney. And they're concerned about a couple of things right now. Last year, 2022, end of 2022, I was diagnosed with a blood clot in my right leg. So it was just out of the blue, and left untreated, it could have been really bad. Could have had a really bad outcome from leaving it untreated. They put me on a blood thinner, Eliquis, and I've been on Eliquis for over a year now. Now, part of the whole medical checkup for the transplant team, they wanted me to go and see a hematologist. So I went to Rocky Mountain Cancer Center and met with a hematologist, and she did all kinds of testing on my blood. And one of the things we found out is that I have this factor where if there's 2 chromosomes or whatever that are affected, then you have to stay on a blood thinner for the rest of your life. If there's only 1, then you could possibly get off the blood thinner. It's not chromosomes. I don't know what it is. It's like some kind of factor thing, though. No, it's not the spin factor or the O'Reilly factor or anything like that. It's some that kind of factor in your blood. And so I have only 1 of these abnormalities, so I was hoping to get off of the Eliquis. I went for another ultrasound recently, and unfortunately there's still remnants of clot behind my right knee. So I can't get off the blood thinner. Now, this poses a challenge because I have stents in my kidneys, and every 6 months I have to undergo an operation to have the stents removed and replaced. It's coming up time for 6 months, but what I was talking with my urologist about was possibly not needing the stents at all. But we can't check that out unless I'm not on a blood thinner. So now what I have to do is I have to stop taking the Eliquis 2 or 3 days before I go in for this surgery on the 15th, so that maybe my urologist can check it out and take the stents out for good. And the reason why this is a big deal is because the transplant team doesn't want me to have stents in when I get the transplant, because apparently having the stents will leave me open to infections that could make things quite dicey once I get the transplant. Now, as you will notice over my shoulder, by my little Yankee troll, it says, I need a kidney. I need a kidney. I have to find a living donor, someone who's willing to part with one of their kidneys. I know this is a gift, and I know that this is not something easily asked for. I have watched someone who needed a vital organ waste away and die, and it's coming up on the 10th anniversary of her death, and she was my fiance. She needed a liver, and she didn't get one. Luckily for me, I can stay on dialysis for years and years and years, but dialysis is no picnic. I've already been on dialysis for 3 years, and after a dialysis session, 4 hours of having my blood filtered, I'm so tired, I'm so beat that I will just sit down and turn on the TV and I will fall asleep. I will just nod off without me even thinking about it or knowing it. Just boom, I'm out. And it's keeping you alive, but it's no way to live. That's how I look at it. And that's why I'm so focused on getting this kidney transplant. I'm strong enough. My cancer's under control, and I'm going to help other kidney patients. I'm in the process of going through a mentorship course so that I can help other kidney patients with. Apparently, there's a lot of people who have difficulty dealing with this psychologically when they find out that their kidneys are shot. I really haven't had that problem. I just figure that when I went into the hospital and almost died 3 years ago, whatever it takes to keep me alive, I will do, and I will let the Lord look over me in whatever happens. Every time I was in the hospital for 2 months back in 21, and every time I got wheeled out of my room to go for a procedure. I was St. Anthony's in Lakewood. There was a crucifix over the door, and I always prayed and just looked at the crucifix and said, "Your will be done. Whatever happens, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not afraid." I had a conversation with my social worker at dialysis the other day, and I told her the same thing. I said, "I'm really not afraid to die." 6 months before I got sick, I watched my mom die. I was holding her hand, and she, because of COVID, she was under lockdown for like four months, and I never got to see her lucid from March until she died, because once she started to transition, when they called me up to come in, she was already gone. So I held her hand and I talked to her and I told her what a great mom she was, and so I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid, because I know there's good people over there waiting for me. I know. The one problem that I have is maybe it's because of all of these drugs I'm taking. I have some terrible nightmares sometimes. But one of the nightmares, it's not about monsters or vampires or anything like that. I have a dream where I cross over and I see Sue. But she doesn't know who I am. And we never reconnect later. It's awful. I mean, it's not even, something that someone else would, but it's like the worst nightmare I can have. But I know my parents are there, my grandparents, uncles and aunts and cousins. There's a plethora of great people over there, waiting for me. And one of the things that I heard from the nurse that was taking care of my mom at the end, that as she was beginning to transition and still lucid, people were coming to see her, and the one thing she kept asking was, do they have a place for her? And I thought that was so sad, that my mom was worried about that. So, wasn't going to get all teary-eyed about this, but when you talk about your own mortality and what's going on with your medical history, it's a fight. It's a fight. I'm not in any pain. I feel great. I walk a lot slower than I used to, but I'm still in good shape. I've been hitting my dry weight like right on the head when I go to dialysis, so that's a good thing. But got to get this kidney. Got to get this transplant. If this is going to be on YouTube, and the link is down below for the Porter screening, and you don't have to contact me. if you're interested in donating, you can just click on the link and fill out your information, and you'll go straight to the Porter screener, and the donor and the recipient never have any correspondence or know even who they are, unless, of course, later on after the transplant, if each side agrees, then a communication can be established. So if people are worried about that, where you'll get some pressure like, hey, where's your kidney? Somebody showing up, Rocco shows up at your front door with, hey, Donnie needs his kidney. Where's his kidney? Come on. No, that's not going to happen. So anyway, I just wanted to do this video. I've been watching some videos of people who are going through or went through battling illnesses and diseases, and I'd like to give it kind of a shout out to Nicole Atkinson, because I've been watching her videos on her journey with cancer, and it's kind of like she's got the female view of going through and battling cancer, and I've got the male view of going through and battling cancer. So we all fight in our own ways. We all know that tomorrow is not promised, but when I wake up in the morning, I just thank God I'm still here, I'm still fighting, and I'm going to keep fighting, and I'm going to help people. Once I get the transplant and I can function more efficiently and as a complete human being, I'm going to help people, people who have cancer, people who have kidney disease, chronic kidney disease. I'm there for you. So anyway, I don't want to make this one too long. There's going to be a bunch coming, and I have to get back into talking about publishing, because that's my love. Making books, publishing books, the whole art form of putting together a book. That's me, the book kahuna. I'm still a book kahuna. I'm just the sick book kahuna right now, but I'll get better. I know I'll get better. So anyway, hey, listen, you all have a great night. I know this one was a little long and had a lot of information, and like I said, I wasn't going to get all emotional, but when I talk about Susan and my mom and what happened over the last few years, it's rough to hold it together, especially when we're coming up on the 10th anniversary of Sue's death. So anyway, you all have a good night, and I will talk to you soon. Derek says hello, by the way. Take care. Good night.